really want to thank Don and his entire team, and really, you're kicking off something special when you have the minority leader of Congress that's here joining us, Congressman Jeffries. Thank you for being here, and all of our teams. This is a full circle moment for me. I was a rookie cop here in Coney Island, so I know this area well, and I know this lot has been vacant for a long time, long before the stadium was built, long before really the development of our shorelines. This is probably one of our last beachfront communities that we could build on. And what Don has done, he did it in an affordable way. And that's what Housing Week is about. It's about looking at the properties that historically has remained vacant and empty. When I think of former borough president Ruben Diaz Jr., we talked about these lots. We used to have a mattress on them, and they were our recreational facilities and our gyms. And this is where we hung out as children. But what Don and his team has done, what they have done all over the city, partnering with developers and having a pro-housing mindset. And this administration, under our interim commissioner and our deputy mayor, we have broke records after records. More housing when we're done, shovels in the ground, more housing in 3 years and 7 months than 12 years of Bloomberg, 8 years of de Blasio combined. And what City of Yes is doing, developers are stopping us all the time, saying it's unbelievable, the most comprehensive housing reform in the history of the city. We're looking at every community board now is going to have housing built where our children won't have to leave the city. And then when you add that on what Deputy Mayor Carrion has done, when you add that on to more individuals leaving homeless shelters into permanent housing and individual years in the recorded history of the city, when you add that on to more people using the FEPS voucher program, in the history of the program. When you add that on, our city is safer, 22,000 illegal guns removed off our streets. People want to live in the city now, and we're seeing the vibrancy that goes with the most jobs in the city's history. So you have done so much under your portfolio, brother. The kid from public housing is now making it possible for everyone to have housing. And so New Yorkers deserve a home, and here in Coney Island, we're making that happen. We're surrounded by these beautiful projects that are here and affordable. So we're not having low and middle income New Yorkers leave the city. Building housing and moving into housing should not be a roller coaster. It should be a smooth, breezy day at the beach, and that's what we're saying. So 1709 Surf Avenue is the third final phase of a new seaside community that will feature 420 new affordable housing homes for New Yorkers, and really working with BFC partners have made it a real win. When you look at 1,100 new homes, so what does that mean? That means occupying our schools. That means new retail spaces that are going to open. That means new families are going to grow and develop in this community. Housing is more than just four walls where people come inside. It is the precursor to sleep that allows you to experience the American dream. And that dream is coming alive here in Coney Island. And you look at what Surf Avenue was and what it is now. And add to the $42 million that is going to go into the renovation of the Abe Starks Sports Center. And this is the kickoff, as Don stated, it's the kickoff to Housing Week. We're going to move all over the city and show the amazing projects that we have. Not only are we saying it, but even experts are saying it. The most pro-housing administration in the history of this city. $5 billion going into even NYC, which was historically left off our housing plan for so many years. We're turning that around. And so we're moving towards this moonshot goal by 2032 of 500,000 new units of housing in our city. And we are truly on the road to accomplish that task. And so, as I stated, it started here in District 34 as a police officer riding the D train, the B train, the F train, the N train, all the trains that came out of here, riding them at night from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. There's a real energy that is coming back as I'm enjoying being here watching the full development of this location. And we can't forget, I know I saw her earlier somewhere, Diane Savino, who was the state senator that was here in many years, smart enough to sit in the shade, you know. But she knows the project and she knows what we went through to develop this area. Really excited about this. One of many projects in the city that we're saying we're not leaving any of our New Yorkers behind. Housing is a right and housing is an obligation for us all to accomplish. So again, thank you, Don and BFC and the entire team that made this happen. Thank you so much.
Hello again. Look, let me also recognize Diane, who's been a good friend of ours for many, many years. She was very helpful in bringing this about, along with the council member Justin Brannon, sitting right over here. They advocated on our behalf throughout the city for quite some time, and we really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mayor Adams. Now it's my privilege to introduce next speaker, Democratic leader, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I looked this morning at my old notes, and the first time I met him, he was an assemblyman with the New York State Assembly, and it was, I think it was about 2008. Joe Chan, a friend of ours, said, "You've got to meet this guy." So Hakeem came into my office. Do you remember that? He was, the building had been built. He wanted to know why he was coming in now and not when we were planning the building. We had a, you know, he was a strong advocate for, he is a strong advocate for his community, still is. And we've been working together since that time, and he's been an amazing friend. He has accomplished a massive amount of benefit for us in New York as well as across the country. The leader is consistently focused on preserving and creating affordable housing, investing in public housing, and tackling the racial wealth gap in home ownership. His attention to the challenges faced by his constituents, including soaring rent costs and struggle to find affordable housing, has been unwavering. I think we were together along with Mayor Adams at Bedford Union Armory, now called the Major Owens Community Center. Incredibly successful project, serving thousands in your community and yours as well, Mayor Adams. So with all of this support, we can't thank you, gentlemen, enough, and of course, Leader Jeffries, of course. So let me ask Congressman Jeffries to come up and say a few words.
Good morning. It's a high honor and a distinct privilege to be here. Thank you, Don, for your leadership and steadfast commitment to ensuring that affordable homes are built for working class New Yorkers here in Coney Island, in Brooklyn, and all across the city of New York. It really has been a phenomenal commitment. Let me also thank Mayor Adams for the trailblazing plan and the implementation of it in terms of building affordable housing units all across the city of New York in the aftermath of what has been decades of housing displacement and gentrification. It's a painful thing when you have folks in communities like Coney Island and all across the borough of the city of New York who were here during the difficult days of the heroin explosion or the crack cocaine epidemic, could have fled, but stayed around, invested in their communities, and helped to turn things around, and then find themselves in a situation where they are victims of their own success because they can no longer afford to live in the communities that they have made so attractive for everyone else, which is why this project, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, and the commitment led by Mayor Adams and the partnership with other colleagues in government, Justin, and those who preceded him like Mark Traeger, with Don Kaposha, BFC, and of course, our partners in private industry, Goldman Sachs and Citi, is one that will transform lives here in the Coney Island community. Mayor Adams mentioned that it was a full circle moment for him. Mayor Adams, of course, served this city with distinction as a member of the NYPD and initially, of course, the transit department. It's a full circle moment for me. One of my first high school dates was right across the street. A little bit of a different full circle moment. But this is an iconic community. Coney Island has been known as having the world's greatest playground. But in representing the people of this incredible community, I know that Coney Island has the world's greatest people and deserves the very best. And that starts with housing. And that's what phase 1, phase 2, and now phase 3 represent in such a transformational way. We will continue to support the efforts of the Adams administration and our partners in the private sector through the low-income housing tax credit and other federal investments that play a critical role in ensuring that the funding is necessary to bring projects like this to life all over the place. Congratulations. I look forward to the ribbon cutting and seeing the faces of people who might otherwise have been at risk of being pushed out of Coney Island, but now will be right across the street from the world's greatest playground, the Atlantic Ocean, and the people of this community, who are the world's greatest people, certainly deserve it. Congratulations.